I started ballet very young. I was 2.5. I wouldn't advise someone else to start that young, but it's never bothered me. I've always had a tremendous interest in the dance. It has lessened at times in my career, possibly through hurt. There's a lot of hurt in the dancing and a lot of disappointment, but I've always come back. Perhaps I'm thick-skinned, I don't know.
As Lisa in Sir Frederick Ashton's La Fille Margardée, Dawn has endeared herself to audiences in South Africa since the ballet was first performed by PACT in 1969. Her interpretation of Lisa in this light-hearted ballet is youthfully mischievous and girlish, and it is a role that she's made very much her own.
I think most dancers, if they were honest, would tell you they enjoy a ballet when it's over, because there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of nerves attached, and especially a ballet like La Fille. It's choreographed by one of the world's greatest choreographers, Sir Frederick Ashton, and it's difficult dancing, it's intricate dancing. He has a style all of his own. When you wake up in the morning, you know you have a performance that night, and the whole day you feel it inside, your stomach's in a knot. And the release is wonderful at the end of the performance, especially, of course, if it's gone well. There are certain areas of it that are great fun, like the mime sequence in Act 3. It's wonderful to do, it's great fun. I try very much to have a normal home life. I find it so valuable to me. I honestly believe that if I didn't have the home life I have, the family, my son, my husband, and everything, I wouldn't be able to cope really with the pressures of my job. It's essential to me, all the things that bring me down to earth. And after all, it is a job in the public eye, yes, but I am a person just like any other woman, with the same feelings, and I try to keep that all the time. My husband is very keen and interested in decorating, etc., and I love antiques. I enjoy gardening. I find it very restful. I enjoy being outside. I don't play sport, because I never had the time to learn to play any sport, and it's wrong for this muscle or that, whatever. And I enjoy cooking. I make my own jams. I do many things. I think I just enjoy life generally.
In her dual role as ballerina and mother, Dawn has an early start to the day. She prepares breakfast for her family, dresses Gregory, and then takes him to school. Only then does her day as a dancer begin.
Every dancer starts their day with a class, which is about an hour and a quarter to an hour and a half. And after class, there's rehearsals until lunchtime, and then rehearsals again until 5:36. If we have a performance in the evening, we don't work in the afternoon. But that class is every day. It's the basis to any dancer. We have to do it. The muscles have no memory. So one has to train them every day, and you're trying to correct problems you have in your body physically, gain strength. Class alone is not enough to give you the strength for a ballet. It takes you weeks of rehearsing, if it's a new ballet, to get the stamina for that particular ballet. And no one ballet gives you the stamina for another. So the training is essential, and it's a very important part, because if you can imagine doing those same exercises every day of your life from the day you start, obviously they become more advanced, more intricate, but the basis is there, and we do it every day.
One of the most marvelous things about working with Dawn Weller is to watch how she maintains her professional equilibrium under all circumstances. This is extremely difficult to do, I really believe, and she is eternally the most marvelous example to not just the dancers, but the stage crew, the wardrobe department. Every single person she comes into contact with has this feeling of that you are dealing with a professional essence. Dancing with her is the most marvelous experience, because she has a kind of marvelous way of making you want to dance better. Like, for example, we're doing Rosalinda at the moment, and we've done the ballet often together, but it doesn't matter how good she danced at the last performance or how good her reviews were for the last season, there is always that factor of it can be better. Most dancers, when they look at the stars of a ballet company, always think that once you reach the top, that's it. You can sit back and relax and enjoy the good reviews and all the things that may come with stardom. And I think in watching Dawn, they realize that it's not a case of sitting back and relaxing, that you have to be eternally searching for new ways, not just to improve your technique, but your stagecraft, and also everything that goes with being a professional artist of her caliber. On top of that, she has the most incredible sense of humor. She always manages to dispel any kind of feelings of frustration simply by making one remark. to work with her and to watch how she reacts with the ballet company and what she does for the ballet company, apart from the professional point of view, is this marvelous warmth, this sense of humor that dancing is fun.
I like to feel free when I'm dancing, and costumes are very important. There's a period, obviously, that the ballet's set in. The costume has to be adapted so that your partner can partner you if there is a big pas de deux in it. And he must be comfortable, never mind you, the girl who's wearing the costume. Costumes are vital. Everything's vital when you're on stage performing.
Now, how does this thing feel?
Well, I asked actually to loosen it a bit at the back because it's okay when I start the ballet, but as the night progresses and gets tighter, the
Start
air,
breathing more deeply.
I think we can let it out slightly just at the top. Otherwise, in the pas de deux, in the lifts, when the chest expands more.
Well, it looks like if we put in an inch, it should be all right. Just at the very
Sounds
top.
terrible.
No, not really.
There's so much in a ballet, it's very important. The entrance, the ballerina, for instance, makes. In Anna Karenina, we have a marvelous entrance. In Rosalinda, Act 2, her entrance to the ball is wonderful. I have the greatest admiration for choreographers. I work with them so often. To me, they're just such clever people. To see that whole thing in their head, to know what is going to bring enjoyment to an audience and what is going to bring enjoyment to a dancer, so that they can in turn put across the orchestra pit to the audience the enjoyment they're feeling.
I met Dawn quite a long time ago, in '67, first time I came to South Africa, and I didn't actually directly work with her to start with. I was coming to dance as a guest artist with a partner, Glynis Auret. And in those days, Dawn was a starter. I mean, she was a soloist and she was growing into a junior principal. And through all those years, it's been absolutely fascinating to see her develop into a mature artist. Great one. Dawn's dedication is tremendous. She has such a serious and professional approach to her work, which is a joy for a choreographer. So that, for instance, when I worked with her on Anna Karenina, this was a ballet which was created for someone else in Australia. And it became something completely different with her. I think she understood so well what it was all about, Anna. And I believe it's a role she likes very much. I certainly like her very much in it.
I always enjoy ballets that have a human aspect to them. And in a role like Anna, she's a woman with a child, and I understood it. And I obviously read the book a lot. And working with Andre, he knew what he wanted. Yet, although he knew what he wanted, he allowed you to express your way. This I appreciate in any choreographer, to know what he wants, yet allow individual interpretation. I'm very aware of music when I dance, and that's why I find I need to have a good contact with a conductor that I'm working with, and I've been very lucky. You know, when I first started doing principal roles, actually it was Swan Lake, I had a stage call, and I thought, I'm going to have to be confronted now by an orchestra, all those musicians, all those professionals, and it was my first principal role, and I was really terrified by it. And Professor Quayle spoke to me beforehand, and he said, don't worry, I'll get you through. You just speak to me and tell me what you want. And there's definitely a feeling between you and the conductor when you're on that stage. He can break your performance if the tempis are incorrect and you can't keep up to them, or they're too slow. So therefore you're not dancing to the music, and the feeling's not coming across. It's vital. Music is vital.
I've known Dawn Weller for 15 years. I first remember her in Beriossov's production of Cinderella. And you know, it was the first time I remember her because I was struck by this dark, petite little thing with tremendous personality, and I thought, well, that's somebody, she's going to go someplace. And we've worked together over 15 years now, and I have seen that girl develop into what I personally think the best ballerina in the country. The collaboration between orchestra and dancers is far more than just a background to which they dance. She's well aware of this. She wants always something extra from us. She always comes to me, Prof, can't we give me a little bit more push and drive that I can get over that particular step? She wants that assistance, that lift from the orchestra. Not many dancers are aware of it to that extent. And this is something that I admire enormously in Dawn.
been called a dramatic ballerina, especially lately since ballets like Anna Karenina. But it's not a conscious thing with me. It's just that I find it a lot easier to dance when I'm not thinking consciously of executing the steps and I'm thinking of portraying the character. I feel it, and it makes me less nervous, less tense. I haven't consciously thought, well, I am going to be a dramatic ballerina. It's just happened. I think the first thing possibly I did was Giselle, and, well, most of the ballets, Coppelia, all that I did on tour, but the first principal role in a major center was Juliet in about 1969, when Papa Beriossov came out to produce Romeo and Juliet for us, and I thought I was going to be such a success, you know. I thought they would all think I was wonderful, but they didn't, and especially the critics. I mean, they really slated me. It set me back in confidence, I'd say about 12 months. It was dreadful, waking up the next morning after all that excitement of doing the opening night. My parents flew up from Durban and there was such a fuss made of it all. And I really thought I was wonderful, but you see, that's inexperience. I believed that it was a role I could do well. I really believed it. I felt so much for that role. It was a role I had always wanted to dance. As all little girls, you see ballerinas and you see them doing certain ballets and you think, I'd love to dance that. And the drama in it appealed to me, and I knew inside I could do it, but I needed experience to put across what I felt. And it's been a favorite of mine, always, and I have had a lot of success with it subsequently.
Dawn's portrayal of Juliet earned her the Lillian Solomon Dancer of the Year Award in 1977 and 1981. She has also received the award for the title roles in Giselle, Anna Karenina, and Cinderella. She enjoyed a long and memorable partnership in many of these roles with the popular Malcolm Byrne.
I had a partnership with Malcolm Byrne for 8 years, and we spent hours together perfecting lifts, perfecting turns, going over and over things. He taught me to love the pas de deux. It was actually a weakness of mine when I started doing principal roles. I didn't have the confidence. If you go on stage and you're not confident in your partner, you can't give a good performance. It shows. Dancing is so honest, and what you're feeling will come across to the audience. You can't fool them. We have the Alfredo pas de deux in Rosalinda, which is not difficult if you just do the steps. It's not difficult. But to keep within the character while you're dancing, to keep all the business going and what you're feeling as a dancer, as the character, I should say, of Rosalinda, it is difficult because you can't stand away from your partner and prepare for a lift or calculate it all. You've got to keep it within character. Dancing is difficult, no matter what you're doing. All the dancers in the company are so important. It's not just the principal who carries the ballet, it's the entire company. The only difference about a principal is that they're center stage a little bit longer than anyone else and have a spotlight on them, which is actually hard because you can't see very well. So I see no difference. We all start the day with a class, we all work just as hard. To me, a company is a team thing, a family unit. They're so important, the entire company.
South Africa is fortunate indeed that a dancer who would have achieved ballerina status in companies overseas has chosen to make her career in her home country. Having danced the lead roles in most of the ballets in the classical repertoire, what lies ahead for Dawn?
I have wonderful opportunities coming up for me, really. Ashley Killar's doing a new ballet for me, Camille, which I'm very excited about. And I've been very lucky with Ashley. He has actually created ballets on me. The simplest way I can put that is the difference between buying a dress from a shop and having a dress designed for you. It's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.